You have to understand, in Venezuela, gun ownership is not something that is open to everybody. So if the military have the guns, they have the power. And as long as Nicolas Maduro controls the military, he controls the country.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the coup attempt happening right now in Venezuela that, in my humble opinion, has been brewing over the past few years, but definitely over the past few months and weeks. The attempt has resulted in what you see on the screen before you, which is a military-backed armored vehicle running into a crowd of civilians in the capital of Venezuela, which is Caracas. Now, I got to back up a little bit here to explain how we've gotten here, why things seem to be out of control, what's really going on with the country of Venezuela. Now, if you don't know, Venezuela is in South America. It is bordered with Panama. Also, you have Colombia, Brazil, I think Grenada and Guyana. Well, Grenada's an island, but Guyana's right there as well. Venezuela had long been known for being a narco capital, right next to Colombia, obviously. There's been a lot of cocaine, marijuana, other things that originate right there and make their way up to the United States. But the most important thing we got to cover today is the socialism. The person before the person that is in office or may be in office right now, who is Nicolas Maduro, was Hugo Chavez. It was a big problem with him. When he died, there was a conspiracy theory talking about the U.S. government poisoned with a cancer virus, all kind of stuff. The issue with Venezuela has been socialism. It does not work. A lot of people in Venezuela have been starving to death. They're beating zoo animals to death and eating them. They're following garbage trucks. You know, you might see them come outside your house and pick up the garbage can, dump it in there. They're following these trucks and eating from the back of them as they pick up the trash in various neighborhoods. There's no food. When socialism comes, when communism comes, that's one of the first things to go when the society falls apart, as it always does, is the food. People are starving to death. I saw a stat that said the average Venezuelan is like 20 pounds lighter than they should be, or they may have lost that amount of weight in very recent times. The food problem is very serious. The U.S. has been trying to airdrop some food. They're trying to send food also on the ground. But the current president, who may not be the president for too much longer, Maduro, is blocking it because he's looking at it like the U.S. is trying to interfere with his nation. But somebody should. Now, personally, I'm not for being an interventionist, meaning I wouldn't go in there and support the coup with U.S. military. That would not be my first option. But at the same time, if you see a starving nation, I'm talking about starving literally, not like Mexico where it's just poor. I'm talking about people starving to death in the country. At least give them some basic food if you can. I would do that, but I wouldn't really interfere in the military way. So since you have all these issues in Venezuela, which shouldn't be happening because they also have oil, they're a big time oil exporter, all the corruption, socialism is not working. So the new guy, Juan Guaidó, who's trying to become president, has basically asserted himself as president and is recognized as president by many nations around the world. He's saying, hey, I want the military to leave Maduro, join me, and take over the government, take over the country. Let's get Maduro out of here. Let's really engage in the coup. He's called for this publicly on TV, on camera, on the internet, it's everywhere. So now you have a situation where people are in the streets rioting, protesting, fighting. You have someone in the military that has left Maduro and who has joined Guaido. They have on the blue bandana on their face. So if you see them in some of these videos, that means that they're on the side of Guaido. Now, what will the effect be to the U.S.? I'm not really sure. I think maybe the gas could be part of it. We get a lot of gas from Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. That could be part of it. You have Venezuelan nationals living in the United States and or those who have immigrated from Venezuela who want to see the country do right. And more than anything else, it's in South America. it's a border state of Panama. Panama Canal obviously has a lot of international traffic that flows through there. The U.S. is really big in the Panama Canal. We have a presence there. So I think there is an interest in keeping Venezuela afloat. I'm not really sure what the U.S.'s response is going to be. Are we going to go in there with tanks? Are we going to fight Nicolas Maduro and his squad? I think ultimately, as more Venezuelans begin to die, and or their family members are going to die because of lack of food, because of lack of health care, because socialism is not working in the proper way, I think that it's going to be a natural thing for the country to collapse into chaos. And then if the country is collapsing, the current president can't remain. Now, if the country is in chaos, hopefully Guaido is able to come in there and resurrect the things that have collapsed and bring some order to the country. Hopefully he gets rid of the socialism that's there. Chavez didn't do it. Maduro didn't do it. So hopefully Guaido is just not another guy trying to get into office, trying to get some money by becoming the president. Obviously, Venezuela is not doing very well. And I will presume they're not doing very well financially if you got people in your country literally starving to death in the streets and eating zoo animals. Hopefully his intention is to have the country go on the right track. So that's pretty much my take on it. I know that I'm leaving some things out. If you know about Venezuela, if you can add something to the conversation as far as where this whole conflict started, what will be the result of the coup, will the U.S. get involved? If you have any thoughts about that, let me know in the comments below. But what do you think? Do you think we should be involved in the military way? We, meaning the United States, should we send troops? Should we send weapons and stuff like that down there to support Guaido? Okay. If you think that might please explain to me why in the comments below. If you disagree with that, let me know why in the comments below. I'm kind of torn here. I'm not an interventionist. At the same time, I don't like seeing people starve to death because of socialism. And if they're right there, not too far from us in South America, I'm for, delivering aid, food, medicine, and whatnot, some basic bare essentials. The military intervention is kind of where I stop short. But what are you going to do? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.